Our back to the NFL report with one of the NFL's top tacklers, the tackling machine, JP, the Indianapolis Colts linebacker, Zaire Franklin. But Zaire, before we get to football and all that good stuff, okay, you and your teammate EJ Speed have a podcast, The Trenches. So, how did James and I kind of get on your plane, man? How do we make it happen like you guys are making it happen?
We need pointers.
Yeah, you got to help us out here.
No, listen, man, me and Speed, we just on there, just kind of laughing, telling the stories about the league, from two guys' perspective that's, been special teamers, been day three picks, guys that just, that knows the ins and outs, know what it's like to make a roster, know what it's like to make a game-changing play. So we just try and get that respected. But we appreciate, we need, the analytical side, honestly. The invitation is always open. We need that. Just to fact check, because the players think we always right.
JP, I'm good to come on whenever you are.
I'm writing that down right now. That's a formal invite. I'm writing it down. So, invite to the Trenches.
100%.
Well, you mentioned Zaire, you mentioned making game-changing plays in that part of that. You are on pace right now for 221 tackles.
Come on, man.
Nobody has had more than 200 tackles in 30 years. First off, are we going to be over 200 tackles? Are we?
Hey, look, I know I'm supposed to say one at a time, but look, I'm ready to roll, man. I feel like, when I'm out there in the game, obviously my coaches put me in a position to, continue to make plays and be at the point of attack, man. I'm just trying to take advantage of it, man. Every game, it's not like I got out there with a number in mind. I'm just out there trying to help my team win. But, hey, look, if we on the pace that we're going, hopefully I'm able to, reach that height.
Okay, so with that said, I'm curious. In your mind, if you were to teach tackling or had to give your philosophy on it, what would you say it makes a good tackler? And how much of it is, I look at the path you've had to where you're at, how much of it is mental and want to?
Well, I would say tackling is all a mentality. It's an energy. It's a mindset. Whether it's open space, just understanding. I kind of think of myself like Steve. What's my man? Steve Irwin, the crocodile wrangler.
Crocodile
Hunter?
Yeah, I feel like every week. I feel like every week I'm out there tackling a different type of animal. You know what I mean? I'm out there in the jungle. I'm out there in the swamp. I'm wrestling whales. But I think, honestly, it's just a mentality that you got to approach it with. And, I think, obviously, you want to hit a good tackle is when you knock them backwards or sideways. I'm a little old school in my approach, so I feel like you got to be very physical. They got to not want to get tackled by you anymore. I think it's just a mentality. It's an energy.
Love it.
So tell me this. I got a two-parter here for you. So you talk about the open field tackling. Do you think you playing on special teams for a couple of years and that kind of being the way you made your way in this league has helped you become a better open field tackler?
Oh, no question. Just running down on kickoff, having to make a decision. Do I, two-hand press and work a guy in space, or do I try to go with leverage or against leverage? How to make a tackle against, honestly, their most dynamic player on their team in space, whether that was kickoff or punt. I definitely feel like, that's helped me, whether that's making plays against receivers on the outside, on the perimeter, or even trying to run down and make plays in the screen game. I definitely felt like, I've taken different experiences and lessons that I learned in special teams and applied them to defense.
So let me ask the second part of this. With every week, us seeing penalties going against defensive players for what look like just physical types of hits, how do you adjust to make a tackle with the speed of the NFL so you don't get flagged or fined, but also you do your job accordingly?
It's tough. I won't lie to you and say that, they're making it almost impossible for us. Sometimes I feel like they don't want us to tackle these guys sometimes. They're banning us. I never even heard of a hip drop tackle until they told me what it was. I've never gone into a tackle and thought to myself, I think I'm going to use this technique in this moment. I just, see Zay Flowers and know that he runs a 4-3 and understand that I got to get him down. That's kind of how it goes. But, I think, for, myself, I think it's just obviously seeing what you hit is the biggest thing. I think when you tackle with your eyes up, and your head up. I think that's kind of the biggest emphasis. I know the league is trying to protect guys both from being tackled and the tackler from them head-on collisions. Obviously, you don't want to go for a guy's head or neck area, but the speed of the game is what it is, and sometimes physical plays happen. I'm a firm believer that football is a physical sport. The physical side of the game is meant to be in it, and I think to take that away is taking away the fabric of what makes the game great.
I got to ask you real quick, then, Zaire, what is the conversation like with officials on the field? Are you trying to figure this out? What are they explaining to you from your side of things when some of these flags come on the field, as you guys are almost trying to figure out how to do your job, it seems like, within the parameters they're allowing you to do it?
I mean, sometimes, honestly, I feel like it's a little bit of a back and forth. I understand, when a receiver's in a defenseless position, try not to take advantage of that as much as you can. Honestly, they're hitting us with fines on plays that you don't even get the flag for.
Yeah.
So sometimes you make a play and you don't get the flag, and then you find out Friday that you lost $30,000. So, it's a tough league, man. It's a tough league, but look, us defensive players, we trying to make it work.
So you talk about tough league. You guys as a team just went through something tough on Tuesday, and that was when the team decided to part ways with your meeting roommate, Shaquille Leonard, who you came in with in the draft. How tough is that? Because I saw your repost and how you explained how much he meant to you and your career. What can you tell us about Shaq and then this decision, how it's impacting you and maybe the team as a whole?
Oh man, I got to be honest. Just being in here, obviously I understand it's a business, and business decisions have to be made. But just for me personally, we were drafted together, we roomed together to get our rookie year on the road. His locker's been next to mine for 6 years now. So just not having him in the building, not having him that we was coffee. We would meet at the coffee station. Now we getting older. Now we got to drink coffee. We're not like the young boys just wake up with energy no more. But no, that's my guy, man. Obviously, tough situation. I know he's been fighting through a lot of adversity. He knows I care about him. He knows I believe in him. And I have no doubt in my mind, first off, the impact that he made here is, forever lasting. And no doubt in my mind that, he'll have bigger and better things in the future. And I told him, look, man, that second act of your career is going to be beautiful, man. The NFL is full of great stories, and, yours has no short of overcoming adversity in it. So I know he'd be ready for it.
Zaire, you mentioned that this is a business. You mentioned his impact. I'm on social media watching him do an interview about this while he's giving turkeys to needy families in the Indianapolis community.
Yeah.
Can you kind of take us into your community in Indianapolis right now? Because we know he had a special connection with the people that watch you guys and root for you guys, and kind of what's going on maybe in the city right now, just from a human standpoint with his release?
Well, yeah. It's tough holiday time. He's been here for 6 years. This is the only team, he's known, only city he's been in, outside of South Carolina. And, I think, even though it didn't end the way he wanted to, me knowing Shaquille, I think, his last act of service and being seen in that light, giving back to the community that he feels gave so much to him, I know that's how he would want to be remembered. So, I think it's just kind of poetic in the sense that, it worked out that way. And, that we do that drive every year. It's been that way since we was young pups, just pulling up to the team function. So it's good to see that. I know service is a big deal for him. I know this community means a lot to him. So I'm glad that at least he had the chance to be out there with the people on that day.
Zaire, you're 5-5, coming off the bye. You got the Bucs this week. Do you feel like this is a playoff team? Because you're in the mix.
Look, we've been in this league long enough. We've seen it long enough. Look, it's November, December, and sometimes it's about who gets hot at the right time. We've been a team that have had some meteoric end of the season runs. It felt good to get those 2 wins right before the bye. But look, now we're all fresh off the bye. We got 7 games left. We're at 500. Everything's right in front of us, but we just got to take it 1 week at a time. We believe in our team, believe in our defense, believe in our offense, believe in our head coach. Like I said, we're just going to take it one game at a time and let the chips fall where they're going to be.
You mentioned your head coach. This is the last one I have for you, Zaire. You look at where you guys have gotten in this season, in the way it started with Jonathan Taylor not really participating, and you lose Anthony Richardson, and everything you guys have been through as a team. And you mentioned Steve saying you guys are right there, and you saying anything is possible. What has Shane Steichen done in his first year that stands out maybe most to you as a rookie head coach and navigating all of that you guys have been through and have you in the spot you're in?
Man, I just think, for this to be his first, opportunity as a head coach, I think he's done a tremendous job of just navigating the ups and downs and twists and turns of an NFL season. I think regardless, and we have no shortage of controversy on our side. I think that's just the truth of it. And I think he's done a great job of just, keeping the focus in the building on ball, keeping the focus in the building on the next opponent in front of what was in front of us. I think he's established an incredible culture of accountability and competitiveness in the building, and I think that's just, you can feel that, from top to bottom. And I think that's why we're in the position where we're in now, and I think that's why we're going to go where we're going.
Hey, real quick, Zaire, one of our colleagues, Brian Baldinger, loves breaking down your film. Do you ever watch some of Baldy's breakdowns, and what do you think about those?
Oh, man, I've been watching Brian Baldy breakdown since I was a kid, Philly legend.
Yes.
Obviously,
right.
Yeah, man, I'm a huge fan of Baldinger for sure. So I always used to watch his breakdowns. When I finally got one, I told him, I said, I felt like I made it. And then I got a couple of them in a row, and I was like, okay, I must be playing good ball out here. Baldinger's giving me a shout out, so definitely shout out to Baldy.
There we go.
That's awesome. Baldy's on the show every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Hey, man, look, we appreciate you, and we look forward to doing your thing, getting you back on here. But you got to do me and JP a solid, too, and get us on the trenches out here. Thanks so much, and best of luck to you, my man.
We got to zoom y'all in.
Yes,
sir, of course.
He said it. I wrote it down. Yeah.
Let's do it. Best of luck. Thank you, man.
Appreciate you guys.